This is class exercise number 6, beginning on part 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in our first main activity. Now you have to name this the way how I name this, okay? So all these instructions, if I name it in a way, I need for you to name it the same way that that I name it. All right, just go through the motion with me. Please don't deviate from here as well with it. So now I'm going to leave this up here. Make sure you click on File, New, and come down. I want you to find Activity. And in the activity, I need for you to navigate down to an empty activity with it. So, do you see what says empty right here? Hold on a second. So, here's what I like to do in this continuation of where we left off here. This is the beginning of number 3. And I'd like for you to, the first thing we need to do is create the main activity, the Java main activity.java. So if you can please do File, New, and I'm going to hover over this and keep this over and have this path right here, so you can see where it says right here. All right, it says empty activity. So the path goes like this: it's New, Activity, Empty Activities. All right. So File, New, Activity, and Empty Activity. So let me leave this up here for a few seconds here. I think is I can't take a screenshot of this once I access my snipping code. And if I went in here and I can't snippet this because this whole menu just goes away. So I can't do this. So the only way I can do this is what you're looking at right now. Okay. So pause the video if you need to at this time. So I'm going to click on Empty Activities, and it gives you this window dialog box right here. All right. So take a look at this window dialog box. I'd like for you to keep the name main activity, uppercase M, uppercase A. Keep it at that name. Do not modify this name with it. Do not modify. Keep the checkbox. Generate a layout with it. We're going to generate the layout with it as well. The layout name is going to be called activity_main. It's going to generate an XML file for us to do this as well. So just bear with me. Follow these guidelines. You're going to use the same package that you have. Just keep everything the same. But the key thing is keep the name. Make sure it's checked. The checkbox for the generate layout is checked, and the layout name. So I've done nothing to modify this at this time. So please keep this the way how it is with it. All right. Once you have that. I'm going to show you something, excuse me. Once you have that, please click on Finish. And it should give you something looking like this. So let me expand this out. Your file that you have, if you could see in the upper left-hand corner, here's our main file with it, main activity.xml, main activity with it. All right, so that's where your main activity, that Java file with it. Okay, and the activity underscore main XML it's a plain file with this. All right, I just clicked on it. If you lost your project, you click on your project windows with it. So there's two different files. Remember, the activity underscore main.xml, that's your layout. This is the one that you just created. It's the main activity.java. All right. So just make sure you know between the two with it. The file that's activity underscore main.xml is found under your layout. So this is the file that's generated in here with it as well. I should have shown you that directory with it. So this, when you create the main activity.java, we ask it to create the activity underscore main.xml. All right. So make sure that you understand the relationship between the two. One is the Java file. This Java file is going to drive the code inside of your layout is the activity underscore main.xml with this. All right. So that's what I need for you to see. Make sure you understand the relationship between the two here, and how everything plays off with one. Everything under the resources, RES is the resource directory. You have your color, your strings, and your theme. Remember now, before we've been doing is the empty one, and it has the style. This is a no activity. All right, that's why you have theme. There's a difference in here with it. All right, let me move on here. So we have that, and here's what I need for you to do. Once you generate those activities with it, I need for you to come in at this time right now with it. So the main activity has been created, and it creates the main activity.java and the main underscore activity.xml with it, right? So we're going to use this information, and it's going to register all of these files that you have in the XML and the layout with it. It's going to register with the Android manifest.html. So this file will look at your activity underscore main XML. You make that connection, all right, with it. So it reads it off with it. So three main files we're talking about: the main activity.java, the Android manifest.xml is the other file with this, and then the activity underscore main.xml with it. All right. So here's what I need for you to do this time. So we need to do 5 more activities in this right now with it, right? And we're going to do file empty activity, 5 of these things with it. So I'm just going to do it right now. So file, new, come down to activity, and you're going to find empty activities. You see this? I mean, this is the second time I'm doing this, but this time I'm going to call this file example1 activity, and we're going to add 5 of these, okay? So here's the first one. So I'm going to call this first one is example, please keep the same spelling, example1, activity, make sure you spell that right, activity, example1 activity, don't put spaces in here, I just, like I said, please, example1 activity, uppercase the E, uppercase the A with this, and make sure you checked the general layout with it in here, layout name, okay, it's going to call activity underscore example1. You don't do anything with it, it just writes it for you, right? So once you create this, it's going to create the example, the activity underscore example1, okay, that it generates that for you. Click on finish. Let's do another one. File, new, activity, empty activity. This time, same thing. You're going to call what? Example 2 activity, layout, keep everything the same, right? And you see finish, and this is where, if you look above your main over here, you see the ones that you just created right here. Again, same thing. Every time when you create a Java, it generates the XML for you, all right? The layout for you as well. All right, so I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to do this. I want you to do 3, 4, and 5 at this time, okay? So file, new, activity, empty activity. Sample 3. Sample 4. Example 5. Okay, so before you move on, all right, I need for you to look at this, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in on the file structure at this time. Hold on. So before we move on, I want to make sure you have, if you look at the file structure here, on here with it, I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the main activity, right? So make sure you have a total under the Java COM example, class EX6. Make sure you have a total of 6 files here, all right, including the main activity right here. You don't create the XML file. That just automatically creates the layout for you, okay, when you generate the activities with it. They pair it up with it as well. All right. So before you move on with this, make sure you have what I have here. I'm going to end this video of this part 3 right here, so it doesn't get too long with this. So I'm going to stop the video right here.